You're listening to the AFTERBUZZ TV Network, now the largest new media platform on the web, and your #1 source for after-show entertainment.
Johnson.
From the AfterBuzz Studios in Los Angeles, California, presented by Maria Menounos and Bing.com, and streaming live thanks to Akamai Technologies. This is AfterBuzz TV's Ray Donovan After Show. We'll break down tonight's episode and get you all the latest news and gossip. And now, another post-game wrap-up show for your favorite TV show. It's AfterBuzz TV's Ray Donovan After Show.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Bing is for doing, and we're here doing the AfterBuzz TV After Show for Showtime's Ray Donovan. Today, we're going to be recapping the season finale, episode 12, titled Same Exactly. As always, I'm your host, Kennelia. I'm joined by
Sean O.
And we also have a very special guest in the studio with us. You've seen him on the series this season playing the character of Marvin Gaye Washington. We have Mr. Octavius Johnson with us joining.
What it do?
So again, he's going to be guest hosting with us, talking all things Ray Donovan. We're going to be talking about this episode. We're going to be talking about the season. We're going to be talking about everything that goes on with him, anything he's working on. So let's get right to it, guys. What did you think of the finale?
I liked it. I'm so glad that they wrapped up a lot of big problems that they had this whole season with Ray, with Mickey, with Sully, and I'm ready for the next season already.
I was really touched by the ending. I mean, that ending for me, like how the family came out and just saw him sleeping, and it was just emotional. I was touched by it.
Even he was all
that's
bloody.
Why I love the series, man. I tell you.
That shows how they see him. Because think about it, if you saw your own dad laying on a beach chair, bloody, like you'd be like, Dad. They were just like, oh, he's probably
and wake up,
sleeping.
They would be like, whoa, what's going on, Dad? But they know what he's doing. They don't know exactly what he does it for his job, but they know something's going on.
Yeah, they were like,
they don't even bother to ask.
They didn't even bother.
But it's just special.
Yeah. So this entire episode, we were searching for Sully. Last week, we kind of left off with, everything went haywire. Sully was on the loose, which was pretty expected. But this whole episode was dedicated to finding him and figuring out a way to, stop him or get rid of him, whatever they were planning to do. But we end up seeing what happened. So the search for Sully, it entailed a lot of things. Lena and Avi were on it. Tiny, which is Sully's brother, who he brought to California with him, was supposedly seen at a buffet every day at the exact same time.
Starting
first in line.
First in line at the buffet at noontime.
Like he was watching the clock. That's how. That's how.
You don't do that sometimes?
What?
I do that. I do that sometimes.
You watch the clock for the buffet. He was waiting every day. 2 plates of food. As soon as he sat down to enjoy his delicious meal, Ray comes, slams him into the table.
There's no way he's getting out of there.
He's not getting out. He probably wouldn't have gotten out if Ray wouldn't have slammed him into the table.
He wouldn't have gotten out the front door in a few seconds. Ray would have chased him down easily.
Yeah. But what did you guys think that was going to happen? Like when I saw Ray, I didn't think there was going to be that calm of a conversation. Like I was kind of like, ugh.
Ray's a calm guy anyway.
Yeah.
He's always.
I thought it was special how Tiny opened up to him and was like, oh, I want to come on your side. I thought that was. I wasn't expecting that. I know that, but I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Neither was I, Octavius. So I was just gonna mention that too. It was so interesting to see Tiny open up to Ray that much and be like, man, Sully's crazy. I can't work for this guy anymore. Can I come on your team? Can I play for your side?
That was cool.
He was so genuine too when he said it. Like he was like, man, can I work for you? Like he was like he wanted to be Ray's little brother now, which was which was cute. We also saw the guy. I don't know if we even know his name. Try to get away with the bag of money.
Yeah.
Ray and Avi had to hunt him down at Union Station. Like, this guy was out of there. But, come to find out, Sully didn't even know that he was leaving. The guy just stole the money and was just on the first thing smoking.
when he said stole one bag and he was leaving, I thought there was like when Sully got so mad and he threw the card at him and all that stuff and started
Hit him
beating
with a
Tiny.
shoe?
Yeah,
A
beating
bloody shoe.
a bloody shoe. Yeah. I was thinking to myself, wait, one bag? Like what if that was the only bag they had? But even still, taking half of the money is still a big chunk of change.
Yeah, no, he was out
Were
of
they
there.
New Balances?
They look like the old New Balances.
Okay.
Like they look like he
And
had them.
they have hard bottoms, so
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, he
felt,
tore him
I felt
up.
Tiny's pain. You know?
He tore him up.
I thought actually that was hilarious how Sully just killed a guy, some random homeless dude in the bathroom, and
For
he's
a Ralph's card?
for a Ralph's cart and he's tripping over his shoes, getting all bloodied up. He's like, "Get me new shoes."
Yeah.
Then he apologizes and says it won't happen again.
He like really spanked him. He spanked him. Like he was like a child.
That's funny.
So while they were in the hotel room hiding out, earlier Ray was talking to Ezra and he said, listen, I'm going to just put it all over the news. Somebody will catch him. Because at this point, Ray really didn't have much to work with. Ezra was against it. But we saw while they were waiting in the hotel room, it did in fact happen. Ray told the news station, so now everybody's looking for Sully. The poor maid was in there right at the moment when it all went down.
I was hoping you were going there. That was scary.
Wasn't it scary?
I felt that. I was like, he's about to kill him. He's
Yeah.
about to kill him. But luckily she was saved by the other, maybe her supervisor.
What was her name? Well, Maria was the one
Yeah.
who almost got murdered.
Yeah.
I think it was just her coworker, and she was like, "Oh, hey, do you need help with the blankets?" "Oh, yeah." And then she just, thankfully, she got out of there. Sully is a cold-blooded effer. Seriously, this guy has no problem killing homeless dudes, random homeless dudes, his own wife or girlfriend, whoever that was a few episodes ago, and he just wants to get anybody who's in his way.
Well, the homeless guy was going to kill Sully, so, I mean,
he was.
I mean, come on.
He threatened him.
Yeah.
He did with a butter knife, though.
Sully did what he had to do.
He pulled that butter knife. I was like, "Come on, dude! Like, he's gonna make a sandwich. Like, what are you gonna do?" Sully killed him. Like, come on, Sully. I mean, at this point, we should have expected this, though, from Sully. He killed his girlfriend or wife, whoever that lady was, a few episodes back. He just sat in the car while Avi dug a hole to bury her in. Like, he has no heart whatsoever. It seems the only person he cares about was that lady who got killed. What was her? Juliet Ray's ex-girlfriend?
Yeah. Colleen.
Colleen. He cares about one lady. That's it.
Because that was his mistress back in the day, supposedly.
That was his mistress. So eventually, we finally track Sully down. We'll get to, the backlash of the fallout. We'll get to that later. But during all of this, Abby and the kids moved out of the house and went to a hotel.
A really big
A
hotel.
really nice hotel.
It
wasn't
was really
just,
nice.
Yeah, it was wide.
Yeah.
It was a pure hotel.
When they said last episode, they were like, "We're going to a hotel," I was thinking, "Oh, a nice Marriott."
Marriott, Regal.
Yeah, no,
Regal.
they were like Four Seasons Malibu. Like it was pretty. It was pretty decked out. Abby, understandably, she seemed a little depressed. Last episode, she found out her husband was molested when he was a child, so it's a lot to handle. He didn't want to talk about it, so she seemed to be still dealing with that. The kids try to get her out of bed. She yells at Bridget, tells her to scram.
Bridget was even getting stressed out too about everything that was going on, about missing Marvin Gaye Washington.
She did. Yeah, that got me excited. She's thinking about him.
She is thinking
That's
about
good.
him. She had her heart to heart with Lena. Lena comes to check on the kids, while they were staying there, and she said some interesting things. She was saying everything is Ray's fault. She pretty much blamed everything that's ever happened on him.
And then Lena retorts back at her, "Hey, your dad is not a bad father. He's actually a really good guy. And this is what he did with me when I was in a bad situation." So it was really nice to see her give that perspective.
And see why she's working for him.
Yeah.
I think that's the first time we ever really seen her backstory.
It is.
Right?
It is, because she never talks about it. Only thing we kind of knew was that she had the girlfriend that she was a little iffy about, and then she punched her in the face. Like, but we don't really know much.
Yeah, and what I love
Lena.
about what Ray Donovan does is not just these corrupt characters. They all have these backstories which make you feel sorry. Sympathize for, why they're doing what they're doing.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, no, I'm glad we got to see more of Lena, because with last week we got to see more of Avi. So it was rightfully her due, her time to kind of tell her story.
And there was still a little bit of Avi's story dripping through to this episode, because Connor, he brings up, oh, if I was in the Israeli army, I'd be doing this, doing that.
Yeah.
Connor wants to go to Israel. Like that, whatever Avi said to him, Connor is like, listen, I'm going to become Jewish. I'm going to join the army, and I'm going to be just like Avi. Like, that's his goal. It's better than that. It's better than him to be hanging out with
Tommy Wheeler.
Yeah.
Doing cokes and trannies.
Okay. Okay. So while they were at the hotel, they get a visitor from Mickey. Mickey gets kicked out of the apartment by Bunchy. He has nowhere to go. He comes to the hotel thinking that he's going to crash and stay. Mm-hmm. But Abby. You see, this is.
He fell asleep next to her.
That was so creepy,
that was weird. Yeah.
It was like, and she said it plainly, like, do you have any idea how inappropriate this is? And it was so, your father-in-law sleeping next to you didn't even tell you, and you're like half naked. That's that's awkward.
It is awkward.
And knowing how he is with women, I'm like, what was he thinking as he was
got
sleeping?
into bed.
Or was he sleeping? And was he just staring her down?
Like Paranormal Activity style, like just looking at her in the bed for like 30, 40 minutes.
Ugh. He probably was. I don't put it past him. Oh, gosh. So he was the person who kind of motivates Abby to get herself together and at least take a shower and then go down there with her kids. Because, she was gonna wallow in, in pity and, be all melancholy and blue the whole time. But Mickey had a point. I mean, I will give him that. He had a point. He was like, get up, be a mother to your kids. Like, they're concerned about you.
And she had good points, too, because she pointed out the irony in what he was doing, because he wasn't there for his kids. Maybe he's trying to do a fresh start with the grandkids and treat them right from the start and make sure the same mistakes, everything that he did wrong didn't happen.
I think so, but, with knowing how he was with his kids, it's so hard to trust him. So... Yeah. You see that he's, caring for his grandchildren, but I'm like, I can't trust him yet.
That's true. And you can't teach an old dog new tricks. Mickey, to teach someone how to care for somebody, that, that at that point in their life, I don't know, it's weird. But Abby said something interesting to Mickey when they were talking about, him loving the kids. And she said, what she said? She said something to the effect of, he said, I love everybody. I love your kids and I love my family. And she said, well, why didn't you love your own kids?
Ouch.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
That was like, to me, that was really deep. And the way the look on his face, it seemed like he never even thought about it that way. Like he seemed like he was like, oh.
He was naive to it.
Very naive to it.
Maybe we're all living in the past like Ray Donovan.
Maybe. But some people, I don't know. We'll see though. We'll get to it again. I keep saying this, but he kind of proved his love a little bit in his own way at the end of the episode. And for Mickey, I mean, you can't really expect much. He did a good job though. We'll talk about that. But again, Abby and the kids were reunited with Ray at the end. He came to the hotel after Abby left him a voicemail, and she told him,
powerful voicemail.
It was very powerful. She pretty much said, we're at the hotel. We just want you to come home.
I can recite it
verbatim.
Verbatim.
Wait.
They didn't have to talk. They didn't have to look at each other. They didn't have to love each other. She just wanted them home. Basically, that was powerful. I love that writing. It was good.
And when he finally came back, all bloody and battered, the kids, they just laid down next to him like, oh, it's just Dad, whatever. He's probably asleep. They didn't even think he was dead. Like, imagine if you came home and you saw your dad bloody, passed out, laying there. You would think something.
But they've been revealing like little by little to the family as this season has progressed, and finally they're like okay with it in a way, and in a very big way actually. He had the bag of money just sitting right there in the sand, like $1 million right there, whatever the amount was, and they didn't even like check to see if it was his blood that was all over his shirt.
Yeah.
They were like, he must be fine.
Yeah, it's Dad. He's invincible.
Yeah, that was a good moment. It was a good moment. It showed the family dynamic. It was nice to kind of end things that way. He finally came home. He probably won't talk about it. Do you guys think that he'll ever talk to Abby about it?
I think that as the seasons are going to progress, because it is renewed for a new season. Thankfully, we learned in July. They're probably going to talk like a little bit more about it, but I don't think it's going to be like a major plot point like it was during this season.
You can't tell everything in one episode.
Yeah,
you wouldn't have a season.
True. So, you gotta peel it like a banana.
That's what they're doing a good job.
Yeah, yeah. So, speaking of doing a good job, guys, we just want to say thank you for supporting us this season on iTunes. We always say we want you guys to leave comments, rate, subscribe. You've been doing an excellent job. You've been going crazy with the downloads. We just want to, again, say thank you. And please come back and join us next season for season 2 of Ray Donovan. While we're on hiatus, there's tons of other shows that are going to be starting up. The new fall lineup is coming, so I'm sure any of your favorite shows will be on AFTERBUZZ TV. So just go to AFTERBUZZ on iTunes, search for whatever show that you have a passion for, subscribe, download it, and just keep watching us, keep supporting us. And we just want to say thank you guys for being there with us this whole season.
And additionally, we've been talking about going to iTunes a lot and actually going to download the Serial Buddies movie, written and directed by Kevin Undergaro, starring Maria Menounos, Christopher Lloyd, Christopher McDonald, Artie Lang, Kathy Lee Gifford. So many stars are in it. Well, guess what? Now it's actually available at Target, Walmart, a bunch of other stores, and you guys can buy the DVD now. So that's awesome. That's amazing. Mm-hmm. And you can even get it from Netflix right now, I think, in the mail.
Oh wow, it's on Netflix too?
Not Netflix Instant Watch. I tried looking for it on there, but you can probably go ahead and try Netflix for through the mailing. Cool. If you guys have that, get the DVDs in the mail and get Serial Buddies that way too.
Awesome. So Sully was finally tracked down at the end of the episode. Ray, Avi and Lena spent the whole time trying to find him, figure out what he was doing. They finally caught up with him. They were supposed to meet at a pier and exchange the passport and everything and just let him go. And to me, that whole setup was weird. What did you guys think? Did Ray really think that Sully was going to believe that he was just going to let him get off scot-free?
I felt like it was a hostage exchange. It's like, okay, you give me this, I'll give you that, and we're supposed to meet somewhere in the middle. But Sully, he one-upped him. At least he thought he was going to. And then even Ray, it seemed like he was going to at one point, because he had Frank waiting out there on the pier, which they didn't expect. But the one wild card in all of this was Mickey. Mm-hmm. And what was actually really awesome was I predicted that would happen last time. Yeah. And Mickey ended up helping him out, which was really cool.
Yeah. I like how Sully became the real antagonist. I like that.
Yeah. So. I was surprised to see Mickey even there. I mean, we saw kind of the previews before, but when you really think about it, I was surprised that Mickey called Sully, and that Sully accepted his call.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? Because even though Mickey and Sully had their falling out, you would think once they did what they did, they shot that stranger lady before Mickey went about his way. I didn't really see Mickey and Sully getting linking back up. I just didn't see it. But Mickey turned the tables.
Mickey is a very persuasive person, as you can see. It wasn't working on the family this episode.
No, it didn't.
It didn't work with the mom.
Oh no.
Abby, but he got Sully, so
he did get Sully. Took the gun from Frank and shot him in the head.
I thought that was so funny how they start approaching Frank's boat on the pier, and the name of Frank's boat is Gotcha.
Yeah, that was hilarious. That was hilarious. I didn't expect, like you said, Sean, I didn't expect Frank on the boat at all. I was like, yo, what's he doing here? You know what I mean? But Mickey took the gun from Frank, shot Sully in the head. They pushed Fat Tiny into the water.
I was surprised that he got out of there.
Yeah.
I was like, well, part of me wants to say, because when you have more fat on you, you're able to float more. But at the same time, can this guy even swim?
He had that big leather jacket on. You know, leather weighs you down. Like I was surprised. You're right. I'm surprised they let him go.
Yeah. But that was, what are they gonna do with
They
him?
had to complete their story.
Yeah.
He would have been another person that you had to add onto the story and make it more complicated.
Yeah.
Best to let him go, you know.
Yeah, Frank didn't want to have to deal with all that paperwork, especially you even remarked how afterwards Frank was like totally smiling, right?
Yeah, that was funny.
Do you guys think that Frank is going to end up working with Ray? He's still, because now he's in Los Angeles. This is it.
I feel like I feel like working with Ray or
yeah.
Okay.
You think not Frank? I'm sorry, Tiny. Do you think Tiny isn't going to end up working with
Ray?
I think so. I think they could bring him back. He's quite the character. Even it's just so funny how he's like doing stuff like waiting at the buffet as soon as it opens. Even when he wasn't eating, when he was in the hotel room, he was watching cooking channels and like turkeys getting basted and cut up and everything.
He was.
I think they should keep him around.
It'd be fun if he came back.
Yeah.
And ended up working with Ray. It'll be fun. So there was, throughout the episode, Mickey had an interesting dynamic with all of his sons. Again, like we said, Bunchy kicked him out of the apartment. He threw the porn in the trash. Right, surprisingly.
I'm a sexual anorexic.
Yeah, but Bunchy he had enough.
It's too much for him.
Yeah.
And I mean, Bunchy seemed to be one of the only people who was really on Mickey's side. So I didn't expect that.
This, I think that's because Mickey wasn't there last episode. Where was he? And he even asked that. He was like, hey, you know what? Ray was there this time. Ray helped clean up the body. Ray shot O'Connor. Ray killed him, the guy that abused me.
Yeah. So, again, Bunchy kicked him out. He goes to the gym now. He's staying at the gym. He calls Ray. Him and Ray had an interesting meetup. And this is where we learned even more about the situation that happened with Father Danny. Mickey tried to act like with Ray, he tried to act clueless about not knowing what happened. But earlier, he said to Abby, everybody got molested. What do you mean? Like, that just happened. Like, oh, well, he said it like it was like everybody plays baseball. Everybody falls down and skins their knee.
Yeah, he was like, oh, it's no big deal. The kids are always like crying wolf in a way, right? And when it's so funny, I say cry wolf, and then she even brought up that metaphor about him being the wolf in the hen house.
That's funny.
Yeah. So we find out, one, with Terry was in a boxing match, and Mickey could have stopped the fight, but it could possibly be why Terry is, has Parkinson's. That could be why he has Parkinson's. Mickey acknowledged that. He didn't acknowledge Ray. Ray said, what did Ray say specifically? He said that I told you what happened.
And you beat me, and you told me I was a liar.
And then he said...
The Boston accent?
Liar.
A liar. He said it continued to happen, and then it went over to Bunchy. Do you think that... Now, Mickey had to have known this. Or did he? Like, you know what I mean? Like, because some people are really naive.
I feel like he may... Yeah, I think he just really thought that it was crying wolf. I don't think he took it seriously. And also, Ray brought up a really good point, too. It's that he was probably just juggling too many things. Like, he had his family, and then he has Claudette, and he has his kid with Claudette, and then he's, like, dealing drugs and doing all this other stuff. So he couldn't possibly be a really good father if he's doing all these other things on the side, I feel.
Yeah. Ray also brought up Claudette.
It's funny, I remember the first episode. All the way to this. Just never really expected any of this. You know?
Didn't. I like the way it unfolded.
Yeah.
He mentioned Claudette and how Mickey stole the money for Claudette, but then he asked Ray, why didn't you give the money to us? Like, you stole it from Claudette and not for us. And then Mickey, that's when Mickey gave his perspective about the family. He said, I knew you would be successful. I knew you would end up being okay. Terry and Bunchy, not so much. But he kind of stabbed Ray in the stomach when he said, "Me and you are very alike."
Oh yeah.
That was like a slap in the face.
Well,
for
you're
Ray.
my favorite, right? That's what he said.
Yeah, he said, "You're my favorite. We're alike." And then that's when Ray was kind of like, "Oh hell no." He was like,
he did say that. I saw him. I saw him. He said that.
So, do you, with that in mind, and with the fact that Mickey shot Sully, kind of cleaned up the situation, saved the day pretty much, do you think Ray is going to have the same animosity towards Mickey that he had?
You know, I feel like he may soften up a little bit, but he told Mickey to leave town, right? And Mickey, instead of going to the airport or getting the ticket, we see him come to the Fight Club and he says, "Oh, you guys still have that cot?" So he wants to sleep there now because Bunchy kicked him out. I also wanted to remark, but like kind of backtracking here a little bit, but I wanted to remark how Bunchy seemed to grow up a lot this episode.
He did.
Yep.
He was standing up a lot more upright with posture. Man. He wasn't hunched over all the time. He had a nicer, more adult-looking shirt on.
He did.
Right? He had like a button-down shirt.
He did have a big boy shirt on.
And he even started cleaning his place up. Right? He's like, I don't want to live with my father. And and lastly, the very last thing that was like a goodbye is he sees his bike, which he loved. He loved that bike. And and he just like let it go.
Let it go. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
That was good for Bunchy.
Great.
It was
Great
good for
writing.
Bunchy.
Yeah.
Overall, I thought today was a good ending.
Yes.
It kind of left the door open because, again, and we'll get into this in predictions a little later, Frances, the nurse, knows pretty much everything that happened with Father Danny. They didn't tie that bow. She had a discussion with Terry. She came back again and said,
"What am I supposed to do with this information?"
Yeah.
And
Terry went crazy. Tore up the office.
Yeah. Which does not look good to a woman who's already had spousal abuse in her life.
And knows that you murdered somebody. Like, not that necessarily you, but you were a part of a murder. So, Frances is left with this information. What do you, is that going to come back to bite them?
I feel like she cares about Terry too much.
Oh, yeah.
I doubt that
it's a secret she'll be beat up by. She's gonna keep that secret with that family. I think she loves the family.
Yeah, she does.
She loves Terry, Yeah.
I don't know though. A part of me thinks like at some point, when women get pissed off, we get real scorned, and then we're like, "Oh yeah, remember that time you killed that father?" And then we kind of like to like dangle it over your head and do something with the information. I think we should. I think they need to watch Frances. I think they need to watch her. Ray might kill her. What do you think? No,
because they already went up to.
Until she changes her name to Father, they won't kill her.
That's true.
So keep it Frances. She'll stay alive. Yeah.
So we leave with Mickey back with the family. Avi is now in the hospital. Yep. He got shot.
I'm glad he lived.
Yeah, he knew exactly. It was hilarious that Avi knew exactly what was wounded in his body. And while he was hurt, he was like, "Because when I was in the military, I worked and I was a medic in the military in Israel." Like, what? Avi, you're dying. Like, that was to me hilarious. Lena is by his side. Ray's back with his family. I think this was a good episode in my opinion.
Yeah. That's good.
So
cracking a lot of jokes though. I mean, like, you sure?
I mean, no, it was. I liked it. I liked it. You just like my Avi impersonation.
Yeah.
When I was in the military, I was a medic and I punctured my lung. But
were you like second choice? Did you go out for Avi?
I did. I didn't get it.
Yeah. Okay. I see.
Obviously.
Yeah.
I think you could have been a close second for a good choice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks. Thanks. I really worked hard to get the role. Whatever. All right. So let's take a little time to talk all things Octavius.
Don't do it.
Come on with
I'm just joking. Hey, thanks for having me.
No problem.
Yeah.
So you're originally from Baltimore.
I am. Baltimore, Maryland. Grew up in Essex. moved to Baltimore City, like East Baltimore, like Moravia, Bel Air Road, and then I went to Delaney High School. That's in like Timonium, Maryland. So I'm a nomadic person. Now I'm here in California trying to, well, not trying. I am still, working towards, being the greatest actor out here.
So tell us how you got from Baltimore here. Did you worked on The Wire? You were
Flew.
Did you work on The Wire at some point?
I was just an extra on The Wire, one episode for season 3 or something. Yeah, I was just like a pedestrian. But I did that, but I started in theater, and then I went to, did some independent films and student films in colleges, different colleges, and then moved out here to do a film called Coldwater, which was bought for theatrical release in France, and it's doing really well. And that's about a kid who, kids who are abused in juvenile rehabilitation centers, and so I went for that hard role to this. Marvin Gaye is not really hard, but he's from Compton, a little similar.
So you knew early on that you wanted to be in entertainment, because you sing as well, right?
I do sing. Hey. Yeah.
So pretty much from the start. So which one did you try to do first?
I saw your music video actually
yeah,
on your
saw
YouTube
both of them,
channel.
yeah.
That one
I didn't know all my life. No, I was raised in church and always around music, and then I always actually neglected my talent. Everyone always had to tell me to get out and sing or do the play Rent, and I was Benny in Rent, and I was forced to do it. Not really forced, but just seriously persuaded by friends to do it, and then I did it. Then I had fun, and I think when I did the play Spelling Bee, I was Leaf Coney Bear. That really hit me. I was like, man, that was amazing. And I've never really been like I don't know. I'm a good student. I love education. I love knowledge, but not the best student in school. Throughout school, I've just always wanted to make people laugh in class. I couldn't help myself. And this is just what I'm made for. Yeah.
So how did the role Marvin Gaye Washington come about? Was it just a situation where you happened to audition, everything went amazing, or did you specifically know, or were you aware of the role, and did you say, like, this is the role?
Oh my, how'd you know? Did you like, were you doing research?
Of course.
Did you hear me say that before?
No.
No, I said that. No, this was the role. I just knew this was the one for some reason. I don't know why. I just felt connected to it, and I just knew this was the one. It was funny how that happened. Yeah.
So your character, Marvin Gaye Washington, and I said this off camera. I said I want to throw your character out of the window. And
you did say
I
that.
did say that because
that. That's why I'm sitting over here.
More than an arm and a half length away from her.
Sean can tell you, like, every time, like, you would be with Bridget and you'd be texting her, and then with the shirt off, and you'd be like, send me a picture. I'd be like, no, get him out of here, get him out of here. Like, so your character was, you were kind of like not the oddball in the series, but in Bridget's life, you were just like, you're like the unicorn to her. What was it like taking on a role like that? Like, you know what I mean? Is it totally different from anything that you experienced? Because Marvin Gaye Washington his past is very checkered past. So was it something familiar to you, or did you really have to like dig deep and try to draw from somewhere to get into this this character?
These characters. I just did it, I really have fun. I'm really blessed with the talent to do it. I just took what was off the page, did it, have fun, and we're going back to where Marvin has been from. He's been through a lot. He's from Compton. Dad is not alive. Now his mother isn't alive as well with me. So he's, so that scene where he took out his anger on Bridget came out a little bit, and possibly in some more in the future. He's just been through a lot, but other than that, he's a nice kid and doesn't mean any harm. He's just like Ray Donovan, Mickey, all of them, they've been through something, and we all have our breaking points. But Marvin Gaye is Bridget's unicorn, if you want to say that. Yeah, she's his unicorn too.
So, did you? Well, your character, we saw it kind of left off with you moving back to the neighborhood. Next door to Bridget, back with your adopted dad, Recon.
Recon. Yeah, that's how they say it.
Do you know if you're coming back next season, or are you just in the same boat as us, not really knowing what's going on?
I'm in the same boat as you. I've always been. I think all of the besides like Ray Donovan, Leah Schreiber, like he's in every episode, you know. But everyone, it's just television. That's how it works. You never know what's going on, so you just enjoy while you're in the moment. Enjoy while you have the opportunity. Do the best job you can, and that's what I did. I was only supposed to be in 2 episodes.
Oh wow!
Put me in 6, so.
Man, they must have really liked you a lot then.
I hope so.
You were entertaining.
Yeah.
Thank you, man. It was fun.
One of the last things that we got to see you doing as Marvin Gaye Washington on the show was doing that YouTube video, right? He was going to post something up on YouTube. Yeah. Does it become a hit?
Does it become a hit? You'll just have to keep watching.
Yeah, it was like extra gangster. Like it had the caution tape in the back. Did you have your
shirt
off?
It was on the crime scene.
It was the actual crime scene.
So that's like uncanny, right? But gangster.
Street cred's gonna go through the
roof.
Street
cred, yeah. Yep.
So, being on set, because you working with some really stellar actors, Leah Schreiber, John Boyd. What's it like being on set with them? Like, are you picking anything up from them specifically, or is it just like overwhelming? Like, I'm sure it's an experience within its own.
I watched them. I really studied them, and I've learned a lot. Even from the things they don't say, you know. But they are really just encouraging, and they give you the answers if you ask them a question. You know, I actually had lunch with John Voight one day on set, and he was just telling us that like we're actually in the best kind of school right now. Like me and Bridget, Karis Dorsey, who plays Bridget, we're just sitting down. He was like, you all, you know, this is like school right now for, you know, you're actually on set, the experience. And yeah, just working with you, learn a lot from all the veterans, and I'm so honored to be working with them all. Really good. From Pooch from the game to Eddie Marson, Ed Hancock, and The Day After Tomorrow. I can name on Dash Mihawk and the Silver Linings Playbook. Gosh, man. John Boyd from everything.
Yeah.
So.
How I wanted to ask, how was it getting manhandled by Leah Schreiber on set and him throwing you around, taking that gun from you?
It was fun, man. Yeah. It was fun.
Yeah. How many times did you have to do like those scenes?
We do it just to be safe. You know, they really care about the actors. They do it really slow. They do it half speed. A few times just to make your marks and everything, and then we do it full out, and I help him out. You know, it's about collaboration, so that neither him or I could get hurt. You know, he tells me what he's going to do, and he also schooled me on just how to throw myself properly, things like that.
It's cool. So you have you mentioned some of the other actors. Who have you clicked most with on set? Because you named Pooch. Do you think you
Pooch is cool.
Pooch is cool.
Yeah, he has a lot of energy.
Does he?
Yeah, he's like, yeah, man. Yeah, he has a lot of energy. He's like, that's his thing. He's cool. All of them are awesome.
Yeah.
Karis. He has the most energy though. Karis is great. You know.
Because you guys have some good on-screen chemistry now.
Thank you. She's brilliant.
How now?
Am I not giving you that?
Because you guys have such a good chemistry and a good working relationship on set. How difficult were the scenes that you guys had? Like for example, that scene where you're kind of forcing her to go down on you. Yeah. How difficult was that? Give us kind of like maybe like the psychology on what you're going through during that scene.
You're going through a lot. Like me as an actor, as a personal individual. Like, let me not disrespect. Let me. And I know this is a scene, but let me do it respectfully to her as an actor. And yeah, man. But it was an intense scene. And we did it, and she gave me the freedom to. She said, "Hey, do whatever you want, do it." So you know that makes you feel comfortable too. She said, "Yeah, just do it all out, do it all out." So I did it. Yeah.
It was very intense, I will say. That was
Thank
one of
you.
the moments where I was like, open up the window,
Mhm.
throw him out of the
Yeah,
window.
right. Yeah, but we had the whole crew just standing around us, and it felt so like closed in. I'm a little claustrophobic, and but it was fun.
So, well, we talked about, if you're coming back next season, we're not sure. But in the meantime, you got some downtime.
No, I don't.
So what's next? What
I'm here, and I'm on a lot of red carpet events, and just networking, and a lot of opportunities, meeting producers now, new agency, wrapped with. Well, it's in the works. Beyonce's people, J. Cole, and Alan Arkin's. That agency. I see him. So just meeting a lot. And staying busy, you gotta meet the right people and create other opportunities for yourself. Yeah.
Other than the red carpet events, I noticed that you're actually doing a lot of community events where you're helping out, doing things like, are you feeding the homeless?
That's what I meant.
Like
it's red carpet at those events. Come on, man.
So how are those going? What are the names of those specific events that you're helping out with?
You have events for the homeless. We gave them food. And there's so many events, so I can't remember all the names of the events, but empowerment for women. You have a lot more coming up with troubled teens, kids without parents, orphans, a lot of just charity events, disabled individuals.
Oh, that's good. And as you continue
and it
on,
means a lot to me.
Yeah.
So
as you continue on, you'll keep building on that. It's a good platform to have, especially considering the fact that the character that you're currently playing has a past that's a little, that was a little troubled. That's a good segue into, doing more with the community. As far as your music, is that something that you're going to be focused more on now, or do you plan on having that and acting on the same level?
I really want to be an actor. I love singing. I'm good at it, and I love singing. It's just another form of expressing myself. I love playing around with my voice, and it's just fun to me. But acting is really what I want to have as a job, and do singing for fun. Have some tracks. We'll see how that goes. I'm just putting the right team together right now. Producers, you have to have the right producers and writers around you that have the same ear and the same just goal, visual goal and things for you, so.
Cool. So, on a lighter note, any funny stories that happened while you guys were on set? Like anything that, that just broke you up?
I said something to Leah Schreiber, and I can't remember what I said. And he was like, "You calling me fat?" And I was like, Leah Schreiber just said that I was calling him fat, and I didn't know I didn't even have a comeback, and I just didn't say anything. Yeah, he's funny. He's funny.
That's awesome.
He's a funny guy.
That is hilarious, because he's like the most shredded guy.
Yeah. No, but he's so funny.
He's like pulling your leg.
Yeah, that's awesome.
That's a good one.
So, where can they find you in the meantime, now that Ray Donovan is off the air? Do you have a website? Are you on Twitter? I'm
on Twitter. Type in Octavius J. Johnson. That's Octavius. No IOUS, just IUS. J. Johnson. And Twitter, I update all my followers on Twitter. I do every day. I'm doing something, and I let them know what I'm doing, and so you can keep in touch and kind of. Yeah, I really interact with my fans too. So on a personal level, and just to make them really know that I appreciate them. So you can just keep in touch like that. Yeah.
I started following you today.
I know. See,
You saw that?
I'm so on to I pay attention to that. I know you did.
I started following Octavius, but I don't know if it's really you. It might be one of those knockoffs, because now that you're big time now, you're gonna have like 3 or 4 fake
Right,
Octaviuses. I think I might be
Octavius
following
J.
the fake
Johnson.
one.
Really? No, it's no fake one, not yet.
Not
Check
yet.
it.
I got a few fake ones.
Yeah, check and see. You probably have at least 3 or 4 fake ones by now.
Thank you.
All right, guys. So, like Octavius said, keep following him. Keep track of what he's doing. Big things to come.
Huge things.
Yeah, we're definitely going to be, following your career. And if you're going to be on next season, feel free to come back and join us.
Oh, of course. Okay.
Come back anytime.
Thanks for inviting me.
No problem. So, with that said, let's get into some news and gossip. Sean, do you have anything?
AfterBuzz TV News.
Got a little bit of news and gossip. Let's see if I can bring up my tweets that I have for today's show. So let's see. Eddie Marzen, at Eddie Marzen on Twitter, he had a couple of really funny tweets actually. He said, he tweeted, "I'm Big Bollocks film star at costume fitting in toilet. The old bloke cleaning says, use the other one, mate. I just cleaned that. Priceless." So I guess he was in this situation where a janitor is like cleaning the toilets and he's like trying to use one that's like, "Oh, use the other one, please. That one's freshly cleaned."
Oh, that's funny.
He also tweeted out, when a 5-year-old was told he gave my son chicken pox, he replied, "I didn't give him all of them. I've still got some left." He has the best tweets ever. This guy is hilarious. Also, at show_Ray Donovan, the Ray Donovan account for Twitter, tweeted out, backstage for Mayweather versus Canelo. Check it out on PPV. Hashtag the one with John Voight, at I am _Pooch Hall, and at Diz Mohawk. So that was neat that they actually last week attended the Floyd Mayweather and Canelo fight.
Yeah.
So that was pretty cool. I checked out some of the tweets, and so like I think Pooch Hall actually tweeted out a lot of pics from the fight. So that was pretty neat that they were doing that, especially because their characters are involved with the Donovan Fight Club a lot. So it's nice that they were over there promoting themselves at a big time fight.
Yeah, that was cool. All right, so let's get into some predictions for season 2.
And now, your AfterBuzz TV predictions.
What do you guys think is going to happen?
Bees.
There were some things left unsaid this episode. What's next?
I think B's gonna be buzzing the van. Episode 5, season 2. B.
You heard it here first.
That is so specific. I don't think I can follow that.
I think Marvin Gaye's gonna come back with some B's.
Yes, yes, I hope so. I'll try to follow that with. I don't think that Mickey is Well, you know what? I was writing this like right when I thought Mickey was gonna get on a plane. I didn't think at the time he was gonna be in this next season very much if he was gonna leave. But him just saying that thing like, "Where you got a cot I can stay on," that makes me feel like he's really here to stay now.
Yeah.
Or at least that gives the writers some freedom to be like, okay, we can have him go, we can have him stay, because Ray wants him to leave, but then the other boys probably want him to stick around a little bit. I expect there's going to be a new antagonist for next season. It's going to be someone completely new, someone out of the blue, and it's going to be a completely new problem for Ray to solve.
Yeah. I think because the Sean Walker thing was left unsaid, I think that's going to come back and be a problem, especially now that Claudette got looped back into the situation. We saw that Mickey asked her to lie for him in case someone asks. So I think that is going to continue to be a problem for Mickey, a bigger problem than we probably would assume. And it's just something about Frances knowing that Father Danny got killed. Like, it's just something about her knowing that just doesn't sit well with me. I think that's going to come back to bite them for some reason.
Frank, too, the FBI agent,
Yeah.
he may very well use this new leverage about him. Maybe he's going to be a big shot in the FBI now, and it'll be easier for him to get out of Ray's pocket. He may bring up the whole Van Miller thing, but then again, he doesn't have any solid evidence. He knows that wasn't Ray.
Yeah.
And he's gotten a bigger arrest, or rather a body. He got Sully. So, I don't know. He still could play a major role in the next season.
Yeah. And Van Miller got killed, so he still doesn't know who did that.
Yes.
So, all right, guys, that was it for this season of Ray Donovan. It's been spectacular. Everything has played out kind of the way we wanted it to. Join us next season when we recap it again. Where can they find you guys?
You guys can find me at Sean Austin O on Twitter and Instagram.
Octavius,
Octavius J. Johnson, Twitter and Instagram.
Thank you for coming once again, Octavius. It's been a pleasure having you. You guys can find me on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook at Kennelia. We'll see you back here next season. Same time, same place.
From Bing.com, executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later. Whoop.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.